Winning a victory in your heart changes your destiny. I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all about self-government, which is changing yourself. And in this video, we're going to talk about how you can change your own heart. In this video, we're going to talk about a story from a friend of mine, and then what happens when you have a change of heart and how you can go about facilitating a change of heart for yourself. Years ago, a friend of mine named Ernest Justison was speaking, and he quoted his father, Donald. And Donald said, "A victory in a man's heart is worth 1,000 won on the battlefield of life." When I heard that, I was inspired. He told me that that was one of those things that formed him, that helped him become the man that he was. He found it in some of his father's old writings, and it shaped him in a really profound way. Well, when I heard it, I said, "Could you please write that down for me?" Because I think that is so true. We are all at battle within ourselves all of the time. We are opposition within ourselves. We have battles that are raging between the different voices that we have. How can we win these battles? How do we know if we've listened to the right voice? What is it that helps us have this type of power that comes with a heart change? Well, here's the thing. We oftentimes spend all of our energy battling everything outside of us, when really we should be turning all of our efforts on the inside of us and saying, let's work that out first. Because if we win the battle on the inside of us, all of the stuff on the outside will work itself out. It really will. Even if there's things falling apart, we become a different type of person, so we process it differently. We uplift other people differently. Things change when we have a change of heart. In fact, I have this picture, which I talk to people about a lot when I go speaking about self-government, and I call it my self-government ripples. So the self-government ripples looks like this. The middle of the diagram, there's a circle, and you write the word self in it. And so the whole idea is if the self-governs, then that ripples out. So the next layer that's outside of that circle, you write family, and then friends, and then church, and then government. As one person has a heart change, that actually impacts the entirety of society. Self-government ripples out. Everyone becomes more free as one individual chooses freedom. So this puts our very existence into a different frame of mind. Why are we here then? Is it to beat the bad guy that's outside of us? Probably not as much as it is to win the battle for our own hearts, to win the battle for our own souls. It is a life or death situation that every person finds themselves in, because the booty, the prize of the battle is us. That's powerful to me. How can we make sure that we are listening to the right voices and that our hearts are oriented in the right direction? It's going to take discernment. It's going to take heart power and planning. A person does not just accidentally not get captured by selfish thoughts. We need to talk about the enemy that's after our hearts, and we need to talk about what we can do to strengthen our hearts and to win the victory on the inside, so that the ones on the outside are the afterthought. But before we do that, do you see that button that says subscribe? Could you push it? If you do, it helps the channel, but it also will help you see more things on the channel. It's a win-win. Click subscribe now. So what is it that's after us? Well, I truly believe that there are forces of darkness that are after us. I have witnessed forces of darkness take over other people's lives. I've felt the presence of darkness on other people that I love. And even in a tangible way in places that I've been or things that I've seen. So to some degree, a person has to have discernment in order to keep themselves in a place of light instead of a place of darkness. That's going to be really important. A heart can easily become corrupted if it buys into selfishness. So that's one of our biggest battles. Is it about how we feel? Is it about our body? Or is it about something else? Is it about our spirit? Is it about our heart, orienting the body, controlling the body? Because the will can be corrupted by feelings, thoughts, cravings of the body, even can be corrupted by the mind getting polluted. So what we have to do is speak directly then toward the heart. We have to train the heart. I have an entire class that I do called Training the Heart. And that class you can find at my website, teachingselfgovernment.com. But I'm just going to share with you one thing in that I share. And that is that there are 3 voices. Now, this is from C.S. Lewis. So C.S. Lewis, in his book, it was a philosophy book called The Abolition of Man, talked about men without chest. And this was after World War II. And he said, the world is in danger of being taken over by men without chest. And what he meant was men without spiritual conviction, men without heart, men whose hearts and wills had been corrupted. That's what he was talking about. So he said, we have 3 voices. We have our body voice, which does all of our feelings and sensations, our cravings, desires like, ooh, I want chocolate, or I want more food, or I want sleep, or I'm too cold, or, whatever it is. Or I just want somebody to care about me and to show affection. That might be more of a physical thing that we are feeling. We want a certain sensation. Think body chemicals too, so hormone levels, stuff like that. That's all going to inflict our body voice, okay? And it's going to get our body saying, I want this, I need this. And the body voice sometimes is a very loud voice. Well, so the body voice has the power of controlling the mind voice and even taking over the heart voice. So what is the mind voice? C.S. Lewis said the mind voice or the brain voice was a puppet. It could be very easily controlled. So what it did was it rationalized the other voices. So if the heart voice, which is the will of the person, if it felt like it was right to do a certain thing, then the brain voice would rationalize it. If the body was like, I'm tired, then the brain voice would rationalize it. So the brain can also be hijacked by any other voice, which is outside of the person. So we have to be very careful, very protected about our brain voice. I think it's no secret that in the Bible, in Ephesians 6, it talks about the helmet of salvation, like protecting a little bit that brain voice, right? That imagery of putting something right as a little bit of a guard. Do I want you to just have access to my brain? I don't think so. So anyway, that is a little sum up of those 3 voices. So C.S. Lewis goes on to say, okay, so if you are going to have the greatest impact for heart change or for doing what the will ought to do, then you have to learn how to have the will or the heart voice lead the other voices. So how do you do that? When the body voice is so loud because you have so many needs, everybody's trying to appeal to the brain voice, that puppet, but this heart is the one that tells you what is right and wrong, good and bad, true and false, and what you should do to inconvenience yourself. In fact, that is where the will says, no, I will inconvenience myself to achieve this goal. The heart is the one who will do all the hard things. It will push you to do the hard things. Every race that was ever won is because the heart, the size of the heart of the person, pushed them to that finish line. That heart voice is that powerful. So one thing that you have to do is you have to cultivate it within yourself. You have to train your heart. And the way that you train your heart is, number one, you give it boundaries. Okay, so if you read in the Greek lexicon for the Bible, it says that the word train means to strangle and inaugurate. Strangle meaning boundaries. You give it parameters or boundaries. Nope, we don't cross over that. We don't cross over that. So if you teach your heart what is right and wrong, good and bad, true and false, you read good and true things. Things that inspire you to become a better version of yourself. And usually those things make you want to stop doing something you are already doing. Stop doing something that you know is not good for you. Usually that is a voice that's leading you in the right direction. I will say there are voices that mislead, and it's important to know there's always imposters because of the other forces that are trying to take us over, because that's the battle for us. The battle for our hearts and souls and minds. There are other voices that are trying to take us over. They will impersonate good voices. So make sure that you recognize what are the good voices. What does it sound like? Usually it will sound like a voice that tries to get you to serve someone else, to sacrifice some of your time, to not worry about your pleasure. It will usually be something that makes the body voice have to push a little bit harder. And it usually is always something that benefits someone else. Train yourself, read good things, listen to those voices, pray, ask for guidance, ask for support and help as you are trying to discern what voice to listen to. Write things down. Keep a journal. These are all key things that are going to help you know and learn the things that you need to so that you can constantly follow the right voice. Then you can win the victory. And just as a final note, don't pay so much attention to all of the emotions. Yes, they're there. Learn how to talk about them. Learn what to do with them, but do not cater to them. If you cater to them, you will be a prisoner in your own body. It will be the body voice hijacking the will. And the messages are loud right now about emotional voices. A truly wise or intelligent person emotionally knows when their emotions are productive and when they're not productive. I have so much more that I could teach about this. On my website, teachingselfgovernment.com, there is a whole 3-hour training all about training your own heart, and it's called Dare to Take Command. There is another training called The Value and Mastery of Emotions, where you can understand more about how to work with your emotions so that you don't end up in bondage. And then, of course, like I said, there is also the class Training the Heart, as well as a whole bunch of other things for helping other people train their hearts and learn self-government too. When you learn to master yourself, then no one will be able to take you captive. No power, no principality, no person. It doesn't matter if you're rotting in jail. You will be able to have that power inside to choose what is light, what to think about, what to say, what to follow. That is a truly wise person and a person who is fully free. So go to teachingselfgovernment.com and find more help with your own self-government today.